What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Red Crimson 102 back again. This time I have for you the infamous Nintendo Switch OLED, and I'm gonna do an unboxing for you guys right here and right now. I'm one of the proud owners of the Nintendo Switch OLED. Hope you guys that actually wanted the Nintendo Switch OLED, you got lucky and got your hands on one, or you even pre-ordered it. I know I did. But let's get into this here unboxing and review. Sit tight. Alright now guys, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and do the unboxing. Have the white Joy-Cons here. I must say I am digging the white. Also, just to let you guys know, these new white Joy-Cons are actually improved over the V2 Nintendo Switch and the launch model Nintendo Switch. I know a lot of people have opened up the Joy-Cons and they said that, you know, they are the same, but really they're not the same. Nintendo has actually improved the components on the inside and the material, because they do feel a lot better than the V2 Switch Joy-Cons. So don't let anybody tell you any different that Nintendo give you the same old Joy-Cons. They made vast improvements to the buttons and the analog sticks, so the material build is a lot better. And also, don't quote me on this, but really, I think they fixed drift with the version 2 Switch, because ever since I've purchased the version 2 Switch, I have had no issues with drift. I only had problems with drift when I had the launch model launch model Nintendo Switch. So the Joy-Cons that came with the original Switch, I believe those were defective, and I believe it was also a hardware and a software thing. That drift issue has been solved ever since the version 2 Switch. Now here we go. As you can see, this is a really nice screen. You guys see my reflection. This system actually feels premium prior to the version 2 Switch and the launch model Switch. It's heavier for sure. And as you can see right here, this is the back panel. The stand is vastly improved. You can see the hinges right here. The SD card still goes right here in the back. It goes to the side. Don't know how you guys feel about that, and it doesn't really matter to me. Actually, this is kind of better, I guess. As you can see, the stand is really better. Nintendo listened and they fixed the stand. It's more sturdy now. See that? Okay, let's carry on. With the unboxing. So you have the adapter for the Switch as well. And you have the HDMI cord. Also, I heard this is the HDMI 2.0, so this is actually a 4K HDMI cable. Take a good look at that while I grab the stock. How silly of me, I forgot a dock. To be honest with you guys, I already did an unboxing for this, but I felt as if I didn't really do a great job with the first unboxing. So I just figured that I wanted to do it again. But actually, here's the dock. This dock looks a lot better than the black dock to me that came with the original Nintendo Switch. It looks more premium. I like that glossy look. As you can see, the dock has a little bit more width, so you won't scratch your dock. But then again, you won't scratch your Switch. So when you put the Switch in here, you know, it doesn't grind against the inside. This is a pull-off. As you can see, the AC adapter, the HDMI out, and the Ethernet cord. Ethernet slot, excuse me. You guys know what I mean. Also too, just to let you guys know, this is actually a 4K dock. So I guess, and you can also update it as well. So I guess Nintendo's getting ready for possibly a better Switch somewhere down the line. So if they do actually decide to bring, they already have Hulu available on the Switch, so if they do decide to bring out Netflix, you know, movie streaming apps such as Netflix and Hulu, well, no, they already have Hulu. It's possible that you can stream Netflix and Hulu in 4K. Now we have the Joy-Con straps, aka Joy-Con attachments. I think everybody knows what these are already. Joy-Con rails, you slide them onto the Joy-Cons like this. That's pretty cool. I don't really use this mode as much, but these buttons right here make the shoulder buttons more accessible and easier to hit, and it gives you more grip as well. And you can do the same with these. I'm having a hard time putting these on. That's weird. Okay, there it goes. I don't know what was up with that. So there you go. The Joy-Con rails slide onto the Joy-Cons themselves. You can turn it to the side for a 2-player game. I want you guys to see everything that comes with the Switch. So you have the Joy-Cons that comes with the Switch, the AC adapter, and the 2.0 HDMI cord, as well as the white dock and the Switch unit itself. Now for the fun part, which is turning it on. Made an ugly sound when I was taking it off. Oh man, I don't trust those things. Okay. As you can see, the screen is a lot better, a lot brighter, a lot vibrant, and This thing feels really solid. And you can also compare it to we're going to compare it to the OG switch, the version 2 switch. Now, as you can see, the OLED switch is a lot lengthier than the OG switch. It's a lot thicker as well. If you take a closer look, the OLED switch is thicker than the OG switch, and it has more weight to it. That's definitely not a bad thing. Like I said, this system feels more premium. This system feels a little bit lighter and cheaper. Not saying that it is, but definitely this is a better build by far. Take a look. Difference, but to be sure, guys, they both sound pretty good. And also, I wanted to mention too, so not only does the Switch OLED is better on every aspect, the two main things, of course, number one is the screen. The OLED screen is a lot better than the LCD screen, and the sound is significantly, I'm talking about much better on the Switch OLED. I'm very impressed with the sound so far with the Nintendo Switch OLED. I've seen a lot of videos where people are saying, oh, they can't differentiate the sound, doesn't sound that much better or sounds a little bit better. Actually, that's a lie. The sound on the Nintendo Switch OLED is a lot miles better than the OG Switch, especially when you're using headphones. Using headphones, it's a lot louder, it's a lot crisper. It's a lot louder and crisper as well, even by the speakers itself, without using the headphones. But as you can see, you can hear it right now, how loud it is. Let's do a quick test. I'm going to turn this down. Hear the difference? The OLED sounds louder and it's crisper, while the OG Switch version 2, it's a little bit lower and it's not as clear. That's how generous I am. I'm going to show you guys, a little bit of gameplay. And also too, I would like to actually, as you can see right now, the one on the right looks better than the one on the left. You can see how vibrant the colors are on the one on the right versus the one on the left. And I know you guys have seen comparison videos online where the OLED does look better, but actually, guys, even though it looks good on YouTube videos, nothing compares to how it really looks in person. In person, it looks a lot better than how you will see it over the camera. The camera really can't capture how the OLED really looks. It's something you have to experience in person. You can't really judge it off of videos, even though it looks better in the video, but you see it in person, it's a significant difference. You holding it in your hand and comparing it versus watching videos. Even right here you can see it's better.
So,
see the more vibrant colors on the left. The switch on the left looks washed out. The OLED switch, the colors are vibrant and
knows where
popping.
a ninja goes. If he isn't at the Hayabusa village, he could be halfway around the world. Sonia, was it? Do you
We
have
can do a
business
sound
with
test
you?
again.
I do.
And what might that be?
All I'll say is that it concerns the Archfiend.
Hear the sound difference?
Oh, the Archfiend.
Ah, the Archfiend. Now see, on the OG switch it doesn't sound terrible at all, but it's not as loud as the OLED and it's not as clear. But at the end of the day, both units are great. But of course the OLED is better now. Alright guys, so there you seen it. The Switch OLED unboxing. Now you guys tell me if you have a Nintendo Switch OLED and what you think about it compared to the OG Nintendo Switch OLED. Also, this is the version 2 launch model, which is great. I have no issues with it. Like I said, people have complained about they still having Joy-Con drift. Well, that's very unfortunate. But like I said in the video, that they fixed that problem with the launch of the version 2 Nintendo Switch. I can attest to that. I have several Joy-Cons as well, and none of them have drift. Ever since I've moved away from the launch model Switch, I have had no issues with drift whatsoever. Now, this is the Nintendo Switch OLED with the newer Joy-Cons. Nintendo have also said that you can look up this information online. The new Joy-Con on the Switch OLED, you know, they fixed all the issues they had with the previous Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. All new material, the material feels better. It feels more sturdier, the buttons feel better, the analogs feel better, and Nintendo has used all new components. So if you open up the Joy-Con, yes, it'll look the same as the old Joy-Cons, but truthfully, it's all new analogs and all new buttons. Like they worked on the components on the inside, and you know, I haven't experienced any drift whatsoever. The sound, as I said before, is a lot better than this. This sounds a lot crisper, a lot louder, a lot clearer, while this is a little bit on the low side and it's not as crisp. Even with the headphones, while it does sound better than the speakers on this version Switch, it's not as good as this. Now, even with, like, this has enhanced sound like Nintendo have stated. So with this right here, with the Switch OLED, the sound is enhanced, it's louder and it's clearer and it sounds even better over Bluetooth. I have a Bluetooth device I connect to my Nintendo Switch underneath the bottom here, and that's what I use for my Bluetooth. But as we all know, well, actually, a lot of people doesn't know that the Switch actually supports native Bluetooth now via firmware update 13, I believe. So if you guys want to use Bluetooth headphones natively on a Nintendo Switch, any model, you'd have to update to firmware 13. Now, I haven't tried a native Bluetooth headphones with a Switch. Like I said, I already have a Bluetooth adapter that I use on both of my Switches, and that's sufficient enough for me. I'm so used to using it right now that I don't use a native Bluetooth on the Nintendo Switch unit itself. Now, I did sync up my Bluetooth headphones with a version 2 Switch model natively, and it didn't sound as good as me using my Bluetooth adapter. Now, as far as the OLED model goes, I don't know. But that's one thing you guys can try out. Maybe in our next video, I can probably, try it out and then do a review on that, let you guys know. But this is just an unboxing and Nintendo Switch OLED review. This is a great system. I love a Nintendo Switch. I have all systems, the PS5, Series X, Xbox One X, PS4, Pro, whatever. I have everything. I can honestly say, man, like Nintendo really outdid themselves with the Nintendo Switch. It's my favorite system. I put it at number 1, to be honest with you. I have a lot more fun with my Nintendo Switch than I do have with the other consoles, the PS5 and the Series X. Now, lastly, I would like to add, because when I go on YouTube and I go to the comment section, there's a lot of people saying that the Switch OLED isn't needed if you have a Switch already. That's a lie. Those are just people who honestly don't have the money to go out and buy a new Nintendo Switch, which costs $350, by the way. So they're trying to tell themselves and come up with a reason to justify why they shouldn't buy the Nintendo Switch OLED and try to deter others from not buying it. But I'm letting you guys know right here, right now, I also have a Switch Lite, so I have 3 Switches now. And guys, to be honest with you, I don't care if you have a Switch Lite, a launch model Switch, or a version 2 model Switch. Once you hold this Nintendo Switch OLED in your hands and you see how good it looks and hear how good it sounds, you're not going to want to go back to the Switch Lite or the OG Switch. That's just how it is. It's kind of like, it's the same thing with when we had the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. Everybody, will convince themselves, oh, I don't need the Xbox One X. But in all actuality, the Xbox One X was like a huge improvement and was needed for Xbox at the time. So it's the same thing with the Nintendo Switch. So I'm letting you guys know I have this model, and I actually could have traded in my version 2 model Switch for the OLED, because right now GameStop has a deal going on. If you trade in your old Switch, they will give you $260 off of the $350 for the Switch OLED, meaning you only pay a difference of $90. So even if you're not interested in the OLED Switch, which I don't see why anybody wouldn't, it's not going to hurt you to go and trade in your OG Switch or your Lite and pay the difference of $90 for the Switch OLED. It's like they're giving it to you next to nothing. I mean, that's a huge deal. I mean, me personally, I'm a collector. I play my games and systems as well. I really don't like to sell my video game systems or games. So, I just put it back in the box. Actually, I wanted to still use my V2 model Switch, like when I go to work, and just keep this one pristine and play it in the house. And the version 2 and the Switch Lite would be like my going to work or on the road type Switch. But honestly, man, I find myself using this Switch more than the Switch Lite and the version 2 Switch. So, I mean, guys, don't let anybody deter you from getting the Switch OLED. If you do have a Switch already, trust me, this is worth the upgrade. You're not going to want to go back to the original Switch. It's kind of like, you're going from a 1080p LCD TV to a LG 4K OLED TV or a better TV. Like, who's going to lie to themselves and say they're fine with a 1080p LCD TV versus a 4K LED TV or OLED TV? People are just lying to themselves, because we all like improvements and we all like new things. Now, the Switch, yes, this is the same as the V2 model Switch and the launch Switch as far as like components and chipset goes. Yes, it's the same. Actually, the same as the V2, because the V2 model and the OLED model, excuse me, guys, has the bigger battery. So, and speaking of battery, the screen on this is so nice. Like, it uses less power consumption, so actually you will get more playtime out of the OLED Switch versus the V2 model Switch, which already had great battery life, guys. So you have to take that into consideration. This screen is a lot brighter and sharper, and the colors pop more. If you play this system on max brightness, you still be able to get 5 5.5 hours out of this. I believe it's 5 hours and 43 minutes. Whereas the V2 switch, you might get like 4 hours, 4 hours and 23 minutes, but I mean 5 hours and 4 hours is a big of a difference, and it also depends on what games you're playing. Now there are various comparisons on YouTube where they use Breath of the Wild, which is a power hungry game on the OG Switch. On medium to low settings, you would get at least 3 hours, I believe. Now with the Switch OLED, you actually get 5 hours max brightness with the Breath of the Wild. That's phenomenal, guys. But guys, I don't want to keep on ranting, but I think I've said enough. So this video is not only a review, actually, yeah, it's a review and an unboxing, but I'm also pushing you guys that anybody that has a Nintendo Switch already, whether it's the launch model, version 2 model, or the Lite, should actually get this system. Don't listen to anybody on the internet saying that you don't need it because you already have a Switch. That's a lie. If you see this and you hear it and you feel it in your hand, you're not going to want to go back. And the screen, believe it or not, might not be a big deal to some people, but the screen is a big deal. I'm going to tell you why. Because every game you throw at the Switch OLED is going to look 10 times better. I'm talking about, it's unbelievable. It's something you have to see in person. You really can't see it on a YouTube video. It really gives your Nintendo Switch old library life. It brings all the old games back to life. When you get this thing, you see how good it looks. You're going to be scrambling through all your Nintendo Switch library, just popping games in and out of the system just to see the difference and the improvement it makes. And it's a huge improvement. It's kind of like going from like the Xbox One X to the Xbox One X. Like the games look so much better, man. It gives the games whole new life. Trust me on that. You're not gonna want to go back to the old Switch. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, you know what? Maybe I should have sold my old Switch, or I could still sell it and get me another OLED model, which I will sometime down the road. But I don't know if I'm gonna sell my old Switch. I just can't do it. So I might end up buying the red and blue Joy-Con ones. I don't know, but the Switch OLED, guys, is worth it. And check out that Metroid Dread. Awesome game, great game. I'm a big Metroid fan. I'm glad they brought it back. And also, if you look through my videos, I have gameplay of Metroid and Ninja Gaiden as well, and I have an unboxing for Metroid Dread along with the amiibos that launch alongside the game. Yeah, guys, so that's about it. Go out there and get that Nintendo Switch OLED. Even if you had the V2 model Switch, you have a Switch already, sell it if you don't have the money, and go ahead and get a new Switch or trade it in. GameStop is offering $260 trade-in towards the Switch OLED. So don't let anybody deter you from getting it. This Switch OLED is a huge deal, a big upgrade from the base Nintendo Switch. Let you guys get one last look. Guys, get one last look. Alright guys, you know the deal. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe so I can bring you more videos, and it will help on my channel as well, and I'll bring more content to you guys. And don't forget to ring the bell whenever I upload a video. You'll see the video, and drop a like, because that'll help my channel out to get more exposure, and that's the whole point. Red Crimson 102 out. Enjoy your Nintendo Switch OLED, people, for those that already have it.